Yeah. So tell me, what is the difference when you had your first company, and when you approach an office today in terms of managing your sales environment?
I would say that the first group of people that I took on when I bought that company were much less sophisticated business-wise, more very, very community-oriented, every one of them,
Right.
Lived in the community, didn't really sell outside the community. People didn't, in general, go outside of where their office area was. They joined an office in an area because that was their area and they probably lived there.
Right.
I'd say it was more friendly in a lot of ways. The brokerage community itself was much more together as far as getting together with each other.
Yes.
Communication, heads of office, that type of thing. Today, at least in our world here, you really rarely ever see that happen again.
I've fought regional MLS forever when I was president of the board and prior to that. And one of the reasons I've used for fighting the regional MLS is because I go back to that expansion of the MLS as the beginning of what you're talking about. As example, I would, when I owned one office, you would agree with that?
Yep,
yeah.
I do.
When I had one office, the salespeople in my office would be doing sales every single month with the real estate offices that were local. And as a result of that, you had a little bit more of, I'm going to see them again.
Right.
I'm going to need them again.
More camaraderie, that's
more
for sure.
camaraderie.
Yeah.
And more professionalism, I think. They respected, seemed to be taught rules more. The etiquette, so forth seemed to be better, spread. Now, as the MLS is spread out, so, CRMLS, which is the local one here, they're a third of California, I think, now.
Yeah, my group is predominantly CLAW.
Oh, you're CLAW, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, they share data, and
do.
And as a result of that, your people in Brentwood can go to San Diego and sell something, and vice versa.
And they do.
And they do.
Which when I first started the business, nobody didn't even think of that. In fact, you weren't even allowed to, when I was at Fred Sands and managed there before I bought that company.
Right.
You weren't allowed to sell more than one office away.
Right. Good or bad.
You couldn't possibly know the area.
Good or bad policy?
I think at the time it ensured that at least the customer was getting somebody that knew the area.
Right.
And if an agent didn't really know the area, and there's so many subtle nuances, that I think it was a good policy. I think that just kind of evolved. It just melted away as technology became and information became more readily available to people.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw our agents, they would start going 60 miles, 70 miles, 100 miles away to do business. It hurt me as an owner. I love to see them make money, but two things happen. One was you were spending so much time, getting to your transaction.
It's not like you could jump on a commuter train and get someplace quickly.
Right. So it was, I felt like it chewed up productivity.
Yeah. If
you had been more hyper local.
Well, that's where phones come in, because I think agents spend a lot of time on their phone while they're in the car. Like, my Brentwood office, last time I checked was some years back, we had 1 year we closed in 114 different zip codes.
Wow.